Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Big hello to all the new subscribers. Just doing a little video here. I've got this 4-stroke 15 horsepower Tohatsu. Came in here and the water pump impeller was just shredded to pieces, chunks of it missing and so forth. Really bad shape. But when I started looking at the lower unit, I'm not real familiar with the Tohatsu 4-stroke. I have worked on a number of the 2-strokes. In fact, I got a couple out here to do. But this 4-stroke, there was just a couple things that to me kind of were a little bit unusual about it. As far as the water pump impeller goes, it's pretty straightforward, just like any water pump impeller. So I didn't film me putting the impeller back in it because there's plenty of that on the internet. But I did want to show a couple things. One, the way the shift link comes apart on it. I can't say that I've really seen this before, with the exception of the 4-stroke Tohatsus. I might have seen it on a Mercury, I'm not sure. But I know Tohatsu is building 4-stroke outboards for a lot of people these days. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, maybe you would know, I think most of the smaller Evinrude OMC stuff is built by Tohatsu. And of course they got their own brand, and I believe they're tied into a few other makers. Not 100% sure on any of that, but anyway, the shift link, I wanted to show you on that. And then another thing is the water intake on this reminds me of some of the older Mercury stuff that I've seen in the past. So I'll show you that. I'm going to need a flashlight to show you that one intake thing. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So I know, well, I don't know, but I believe Tohatsu is building outboards for OMC. They're 15 horse down, 20 horse down. Other than the E-Tech stuff, I think Tohatsu is building those outboards. But I'm not sure the lower units are the same, because I've had a couple 4-stroke Evinrudes and Johnsons in here. And I know that Johnson was tied 4-stroke wise to Suzuki for a while. So, but I don't recall any of them having the shift link come apart the way this one did. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. And then the water intake tube. And so let me show you what I got going here. Alright, so here's your shift link. And if you can see on that bottom there's a roll pin. And then on the top there's a hole. Well, if you come over to the outboard, you can see in the shift link there's a hole. And so this part of the upper shift link just stabs into that brass sleeve there, and then you put the little roll pin back in. And that's all there is to it. You take a little roll pinch pump. You know, it's harder than that, and I'll show you that because you got to line the hole up and all and get it in, but I just don't recall seeing that. And while I'm down here, I wanted to show you this. Now here's the intake that goes up and feeds up into the water pump housing, but there's also another intake right up under there. Hopefully you can see that plastic piece right there. It's another intake, and that reminds me of the old style Mercs. So it's got a screen there, and then it feeds up through a tube, and you can see a little rubber grommet there. It's kind of bent on this one. Sticks into that rubber grommet and then feeds up into the water pump housing. So it's getting it from the sides and it's getting it from the back And the way that that one's done reminds me of the old Mercs. Some of them had a water tube that ran up to the water pump housing that way. Although this one, it's kind of cast into the lower unit itself, it still reminds me of the old Merc. So I thought that was kind of unique about the shift rod and the water tube. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. So anyway, that's the Tohatsu. I just wanted to show you that shift link. And once I stab the lower unit back in, I'll you can see there's the water tube. I need to clean that out. There's the shift link. So I'll line that up, stab it up in there, and then I'll show you that little roll pin. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, here's the little Tohatsu. I stabbed the lower unit, and it's in neutral right now. And there's the little shift link right there. So now I put the shift handle in forward, so it's all the way up in the forward. That raises the upper shift rod up, and then you line everything up and shift it back to neutral, and it'll go in there, and I'll try and film that. That's all there is to it, except now I got to get a little bitty pin, roll punch pin. There's the pin, and it's got to go in that hole, and everything's got to be lined up. Easier said than done. And then I've got a little roll pin punch to do that. All right, I put a little tab of grease. Hopefully that'll help. I know. Let me see. Let me try something else. Man. Can't do it. It's impossible. Never. All right. There. All right, hopefully you saw that. I took a little pair of pliers. I just put kind of the grease, not to help slide it in, but kind of to help hold it there. And then I took my needle nose, and now, there you go. Forward, neutral, reverse. So, that's the Tohatsu method, at least on this one. So, one other, it's just an observation. I wanted to kind of get other people's opinion. These water pumps, or excuse me, the impellers in the water pumps. I got these, and I got them off the internet at boats.net. It doesn't really say on here whether they're made by Mallory, Stens, but it does say Tohatsu genuine parts. Tohatsu genuine parts. Well, one thing I've noticed is many OEM original manufactured equipment come with the brass center. And in this case, this one that came out of the Tohatsu, which is roached, it has the plastic center. And as does the OEM equipment. The observation that I wanted to get a little input, if you guys got it out there, you see how this brass one is kind of delaminating from there. All right, you would think brass is better. Certainly more expensive, and plastic is certainly cheaper to produce, I would think. But from my observation, what I've seen so far is the plastic seems to hold up better. I rarely see a plastic centered impeller delaminated. And even this one, as bad as it is, it you'll pull them fins off before you get it to delaminate from that plastic. So when I first started getting these impellers from Sierra, Stens, whoever, Mallory, and I saw the plastic, I thought, CPS, cheap plastic stuff. But my observation over the last few years is that the plastic never comes, or doesn't seem to come delaminated from the center, where I've seen perfectly good impellers. The fins, well, kind of like this one. I mean, they're not bad on this impeller, but it is faulty in the fact that it's delaminated from that brass. So it's just an observation. And if you have any experience with that, you can throw it a comment there. I swear, it seems to me, I just started paying attention to it the last couple of years. It seems the plastic is holding up better as far as the center of the impellers go. And so just an observation, but let's get this Tohatsu in there and see if that impeller did the trick. I know my lighting's poor, it's kind of late and dark out, but there it goes. Alrighty. the old Tohatsu. All right. Gas on this guy. Yep, that did it. He pees like a racehorse. Forward. Neutral. Reverse. Forward. Well, I'd say she's taken care of. Alrighty. So that's all for this video. Just a quick video. The thing I can say about so far about this Tohatsu, heck, I can't even say it. Tohatsu. Seems like a really good made little motor. I kind of like the little roll pin disconnect. Pretty quick and simple. I'd rather do that than have to sit there with two 10mm wrenches. I'd rather do that than certainly the little plastic cone that's down in behind the vents on some of them. That always, for me, because I got big fat thumpy fingers, it goes flying, and those things are like $6 for that little plastic cone. So I like this setup with the little roll pin punch, and simple motor, it seems like, good running. So if you have any comments on the impeller being the plastic versus the brass centers, throw it down. It's just an observation I've had, and I'd like a little input if you have it. So thanks for watching.